This is Granny Fullbell, and I'm with Danny Coleman from Rock On Radio. Rock on! Yes.
Hello.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to yet what I'm sure will be another riveting episode of Rock On Radio. If not, well, then you could turn it off now. No. This is Rock On Radio. It is Sunday night. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We are in Hightstown, New Jersey, coming to you live from the COA Radio Studios, COARadio.com. And we are also being simulcast and picked up upon by SocietyBytesRadio.com, BYTES. I want to say hi to our Hayriders because, you know, a lot of them told me last night that they listened to my show. So hello, Hayride people.
That's right.
We'll see you on the 29th of February, which will be the next one.
Mm-hmm.
The venue is undergoing some renovations, so we have to postpone it. So it's February 29th, Art.
I'll come to February 29th next year.
All right, we'll meet you
In 4 years.
Well, Rock On Radio. Well, I have engineer Art in studio. I have producer Claire,
Howdy.
and we are on YouTube tonight, right, Art? You did turn it on, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good. We're working. There you go. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
There you go. They are our guests, and we'll get to them in a second.
You can go to COARadio.com and the YouTube link is right there.
That's
That's
right.
right.
You can watch these guys live on radio as it happens. Now,
That's
for those of you listening on the podcast, obviously, we're not live.
Sorry.
We're not dead, but we're not live. So you can't hear us live. You can hear us podcast. Is there a term for that? You guys look like you would know that.
Podcasted.
You're wrong. I have been there many times.
Oh, there's the first.
There you go. Rock On Radio. Rock On Radio is brought to you by actress Eileen Sullivan, CPA Jody Weber, O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey, and No Knot Necklace Carrier, and the flute. What's that? Is that the flute? Okay. What was that?
Candle.
It's the international
flute,
sign
this
for
is-
candle.
Candle. Light.
No, we are. That's right.
It actually
Bridal
is.
music.
I'm
Bridalmusic.org.
glad you didn't do this.
It's a totally different
flute.
sponsor.
Bridalmusic.org if you're looking for some from music for like a wedding cocktail hour or corporate affair. You can go to bridalmusic.org. Tell our friend Michelle that we sent you there from Rock On Radio.
Mhm.
And we are the Custom Candle Company of New York.com. Check out their candles, which are really cool. Also, Anchor.fm
That's
sponsors us. That's right,
right,
Anchor.fm,
yes.
where you can hear this show and many others podcasted on Anchor.fm/Rock On Podcast. All one word. You can hear us there. And you can hear this show on Spotify as well with the same tag, Rock
Mhm.
On Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, Rock On Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Rock On Podcast. You can also follow the show on Facebook, Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2, the number 2. Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram at Rock On Radio. And that's the one on for the podcast too, right? At Rock On Podcast.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. And
It's on our website.
and you can follow along with my blues show. Danny Coleman's Got the Blues on Facebook, and on Instagram it's DC Got the Blues. So you can check us out there if you so wish. If you want to, I would greatly appreciate if you'd like clicked on it and gave us a
Listen.
like on Facebook or a thumbs up or something. I don't
That's
know.
right.
Right.
You can download the app. I can download the app for tonight too.
That's right. How do they download COA app?
I was eating chocolate. Any of
There's a first.
I know chocolate. You can go to, if you any of the app stores and just search for coaradio.com. Or if you go to the website, there's a page there where you can download for either Android or iPhone.
Fantastic. All right. Well, if you want to reach out to us tonight, you can do so through any of those avenues I just said, or our website, which is dcror.com, my website, Danny Coleman, which is a short link, quick link for Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com. Or you can call us right here live and in studio, 609-241-7103. 609-241-7103. Again, podcast people, do not call us because we will not answer. We will not be here at the appointed podcast hours.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you for that affirmation. I
You
appreciate
looked
that.
at me. I figured that's what you
Make a
needed.
call, nobody will
Oh.
answer.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's going to be here. But we have our guests this evening have been you guys have been all over the place. You came in from Baltimore today, right?
That's correct.
Because you were on a tour of how many cities?
It was just a weekend thing. We were kind of bored, so we just hit the road.
Nice.
We used the excuse that Phil didn't see a shadow as a reason to hit the road. So we hit DC, then we hit Maryland, and then here.
And then here, this is
Yeah.
the last stop
NJ.
of the tour. Excellent. Excellent. And these guys are John, Nick, James, Omar. They are the Phoenix Within.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get started with them, I'm going to play a quick interview that I did late this afternoon with a gentleman who is a great blues player, actually, a fellow by the name of John Namath. He's from that hotbed of blues, Boise, Idaho.
The blue potatoes.
Apparently, they don't have the vote either.
Right?
I thought it was Iowa.
Count them.
Lizzie Rose. I haven't been there yet. But he's very excited about it.
It's like halfway to nowhere.
There you go. Pretty much. Once you get down that end of the Jersey Shore area, yeah, it's deserted. So the Lizzie Rose Music Room. But here is a quick interview that I did with him, and then when we come back, we are going to get started with the Phoenix Within. So here we go. Let's see. Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Who's this?
This is John Namath. How you doing, Danny?
All right, John. How are you, my friend?
Man, I'm feeling great. Loving it.
Fantastic. Now you're calling me from. You have a gig this evening, right? Where are you at tonight?
I am in Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania at the Rusty Rail.
Oh my!
Uh-huh.
I'm not even sure I've ever heard of Mifflinburg, but that's all right.
I know I'm in a green room staring at this. It's an Impala. There's the head of an Impala in the green room. That's wild.
Like a trophy on the wall type of.
Yeah.
No.
Like yep. And they even have some African grass.
Wow.
Dry African grass, like Serengeti grass, all up around it too. It's really nicely done.
Nice taxidermy job. Maybe that's all they have to do in Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, man. I guess so. It is the country out here. Yeah, man. Looking forward to coming down to you guys, though.
Yeah, you're going to be in our area this week at the Lizzie Rose Music Room, correct?
Oh, man, that's correct. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait.
Fantastic. So you were telling me, we spoke earlier this week, too, and you were telling me that this is your third year in a row where you've done an East Coast tour around this time of the year.
Yeah, that's right, man. And so far, it's going great. We played Evansville, Indiana on Friday and Pittsburgh last night. And so we're just making our way to you, babe.
Here you go. Now you are a blues soul type of performer, singer, harmonica player with a great band behind you. What can we expect at the Lizzie Rose Music Room?
You can expect a great time. When I come into a place, I expect to have a great time, and that's the best feeling in the world, you know. And that's what music is for. Music is food. You know, food for the soul, food for the mind. So we're gonna serve up a great meal for you. You're gonna feel great after you eat it.
Feed me, Seymour.
That's right.
Okay, fantastic. Now, how do we find you, first off, and then we'll talk about how we get tickets for Lizzie Rose. What are your websites, social media, that kind of
Yeah, JohnNameth.com. JohnNemeth.com.
Perfect. Now, how do we buy? Can we get tickets off your website for the Lizzie Rose Room as well? Or?
I'm pretty sure you can. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff, but I have people that take care of that for me, and I'm sure you can probably go right to the website, click on gigs, performances, what have you, and it'll take you to where a place will probably be a link. Click on a link. Buy the tickets. Buy extra tickets so you can bring your friends.
Right. Buy more tickets than you need to see John Namath. That's what people need to do.
That's right. Spread the love, baby.
That's right. So what's your favorite kind of gig, John? Is it a small venue like the Lizzie Rose, or is it the larger rooms? Because I know you play festivals and things. What's the what is John Namath prefer?
Oh, I tell you what, Greenville, Mississippi, the Delta Blues Festival, Greenville, Mississippi. That kind of action, I like a lot of feedback with the crowd. You know, I love a crowd that engages the music just as much as the music engages the audience, and I love that. I love big feedback on the shows, and I got material that it's got that excitement to it, and it brings that out in crowds, and I love that. I love being in with the crowd. You know, whether it's a big stage somewhere or a little stage somewhere, it doesn't really matter to me. Everybody gets the John Namath show.
Fantastic. I love it. Now, the band that you're with on tour now, is it just the four pieces? Do you have the backup singers with you?
This is all scaled down. Okay. And I just cut a record. It's been a long time since I cut a record with a scaled down band. And it's bass, drums, guitar, and all three of those guys sing the background vocals. So we're doing all the soul tunes with the background vocals, and we're doing all the blues, all the funky stuff, and with this band, so everyone can hear their favorite songs from the past in a different kind of light too, and maybe hear a few new songs as well, and some great jams. This band's really got a great chemistry. It's the Blue Dreamers, and they're super cool and a lot of fun to play with.
Oh, what's the name of the new record?
It doesn't have a name yet.
I love it. It's your greatest hits, then.
It's been cut, but no, actually, that's top secret information. I really can't let that slip out just yet. You know, I want it to be a surprise.
Double secret probation. I get it.
That's right.
All right, John. Well, thank you for taking the time to give us a call. And we're going to play one of your tunes right now. I'm not sure which one at the moment, but I'm going to leave that up to my engineer, Art, to pull John Namath out. And is there one you would prefer?
Oh, let me see. Out of the vast repertoire of tunes, any one John Namath song. Wow. I don't know if I've ever really thought about trying to boil it down to one tune. But I'm just thinking I'm in this kind of mood at the moment. I think a song called My Baby's Gone.
My Baby's Gone. All right. Well, we'll have Art cue that up, and we're going to play it as soon as we hang up.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much.
Well,
appreciate you being.
Have a good gig tonight, John, and maybe we'll see you this week at the Lizzie Rose Music Room in Tuckerton, New Jersey. down there off of Route 539. And rock on, my friend.
I'm counting on you, Tuckerton. See you soon.
There you go. All right. Thank you, John.
Bye.
Didn't realize that we brought an entire studio audience in
Yeah, that was nice.
for that.
Clapped really loud.
As John Namath, he's actually really, really laid back dude to talk to. And I mean dude in the
Dutyist
sense
way.
of the word. That's right. Well, not duty.
Dutyist way.
You.
Not with O's, with U's.
Wow. All right. Welcome back to Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman. These guys are the Phoenix Within. Welcome to the program, man.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for biding your time until well, we kind of have them hostage because they can't get all that stuff out.
I know, right? Lock the door.
Because of the way it's set up. Once again, we have John, Nick, James, and Omar. They are the Phoenix Within, and you guys are from where?
Queens, New York.
Queens, New York. Now, are you all from Queens, or are you
Yep.
from the surrounding area?
You saw me do that look around, right?
It's like you weren't sure.
We're still
Yeah.
from there, right? It's not Oz. We left Oz.
Now, you three guys are brothers, right? and you decided to form a band, and you said, you know what, I want to form this band, and we really need a guy called Omar.
And that's right.
That's a story I've been giving everybody.
No band's complete without a guy named Omar. We got to get one of those. No, so how'd you form?
So we started playing
Oop.
music like in elementary school, and we started playing at a young age. Listened to a lot of Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Van Halen, all the good stuff, and kind of influenced us to start playing. And then one day, I think it was around like Super Bowl, me and John started writing our first song, and I think that was like where it started. And we
Was it
started
a-
writing all originals.
Was it a football-inspired song?
No, I had nothing to do with football. I just remember that day because we were getting ready for
The song was called Touchdown.
yeah.
You're getting ready for the Super Bowl. You guys,
Yeah.
you guys were in the
cooking.
Super Bowl?
No, we were cooking and like getting food ready, and then me and John were just started writing our own music, and that's where it kind of started and just snowballed. And then
And then you just like
Kept
said, "Hey
writing
Nick, you're
original-
playing bass."
yeah, Nick,
I actually wanted to play the bass. I don't know why.
it was the only instrument left. We were like, you can't play the guitar, you can't play the drums.
I didn't want to do keys.
Is that or something?
We can't sing.
We can't sing well at all.
Okay. Well,
That's what a guy named Omar is there.
Exactly.
You assume I can sing.
Now I've heard you sing.
Wow.
Omar the vocalist.
The band.
So-
You want to tell that? How the band started?
Well, the Phoenix Within was established in 2013. This wasn't the original lineup. I've been working with these guys for about 2 years going on.
So you were the original Phoenix Within?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started this band in 2013. Then life stuff happened. The original lineup, one guy became a lawyer, another one was involved in family business, then children, marriages, yada yada yada. So for a number of years, I was just running along with the same moniker, but doing a lot of acoustic shows, still playing out of town. Eventually, I started building another ensemble, and I was lucky enough to meet Nick through his dad, who also works at my place. Shout out to your college. Boo-hoo. And through Nick, I met John, and through John, we met over here, James. And on the drive here, I was telling the guys, I feel really lucky to have such great skilled musicians. It just makes it easier. I feel like I waited a long time to have this, and now that I have it,
Whoa.
that just got deep.
Be careful how you say that. Last time I said that. Security! Remember.
Girls, what they want.
That's right. Security.
I just was.
Who wouldn't love this phrase?
Lord.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So the Phoenix Within originally was yours, Omar. So, all right. Why the name? Why the Phoenix Within? Are you rising from something that is?
At that time, it felt like it. 2013 for me was my last year in college, trying to get a degree in biology. It was a pretty stressful semester. At the time, I'd been in and out of bands, but never my own project really, where I was doing the writing fully and whatnot. So that year I used it to write a full-length album. I had a one-bedroom apartment that I got rid of, and I rented a bedroom in the hood of Queens. And I lived in this room, and in that room, because I wanted to save every single penny and every single dollar for recording time.
Now, is this the part of Queens that's on Long Island, or the part of Queens that's in?
Oh, that's a true question. Didn't we have this conversation with somebody? Long Island is Queens?
Yeah, it was just.
That was just it. It's been a trippy 3 days.
Who said what?
I've been drinking a lot. But yeah, so it's Queens. And I basically
Still New
spent a
York.
year. Yeah, totally New York. That's the end of the story. It's New York.
That's it. We'll just leave it right there.
We got pizza, we got bagels.
Right.
Yeah, but
Thank goodness.
so I used that year to write a full-length album. I recorded it, and I didn't really get to play out much. I didn't get to really push that album or really go hard with it.
Okay.
But the second album that I released after that was called Whispers. It was a fully acoustic album, That one I toured around. That one I bounced around 15 different states,
Oh,
many,
wow.
many shows.
How, just East Coast, or did you
East
go?
Coast, West Coast. I would go anywhere. I during a vacation to Amsterdam, I took my guitar, I went out there, you know. I'll play anywhere they have me. Churches, second floors,
It's an epidemic in
That's
this
where we
area.
are.
anywhere they'll have me.
On the second floor of the church.
Here we are.
Wow. That's a fine studio.
It is.
I think it's a
It's
fine
nice,
studio.
and it's important to have a place where
We
you
can
know,
go on the
where
second
local
floor.
artists can go and you know, actually the first time I ever heard of your show, it was you interviewed Rory
Oh,
Dillashaw.
yeah, the
Okay.
Lighthouse.
Yeah. So we've played shows together you know,
Nice.
before, and
Mhm.
I know him from the scene. You know, when you're bouncing around through venues, you know,
Right.
you meet people. So I saw his interview here, and I think it's important to have places like this outlet where the artists can come and showcase what they have.
Mhm.
It's,
That's
it's
awesome.
needed.
Mhm.
Really? You saw the Rory interview, yet you still reached out to me?
And then I found
Rory's
out
a
about
good
the
guy.
blues one.
Rory's got a restraining order on me.
Wow.
So can we
And a
make that
lawsuit pending, but
maybe the 4 things we shouldn't talk about?
Yeah.
I died. That's
There
rule
you
number
go. That's the
4.
rule.
Omar is
Rule
taking
number
over.
4.
I told you, 7:30, I
Rule number
leave.
5.
That's it.
Rule number 5 is a double tap. I'll explain that later.
Oh my. You're just tuning in. This is Rock on Radio. If you want to give us a call tonight, you can do so. 609-241-7103. That's 609-241-7103. And we have, you guys brought t-shirts or something to give away,
Yes,
right? Let's see what they look like. We'll throw one of them up front here. So producer Claire.
So I
is
also
there a
bought
brick with each of these t-shirts?
I also bought some for listeners. We brought some for listeners, but I also got one per.
Oh,
One-
cool.
Ah.
So you find your
Nice.
size, you open it up, and you do your thing.
Ooh.
Just don't put it on now.
Well, I'd recommend the smaller one for me.
There you go.
You want
Please.
small?
Not small, but
Medium?
smaller than
We
the
got small and a medium here.
I mean, it's good.
I'll give it this one. She's gonna like that.
You like this one?
Ah,
Oh, okay. There you go. Perfect. Fantastic. Here, stick them all up like a little
Why
army.
are you making artwork? Why
Look
is
at
he
that.
waiting? What about his size?
Oh, Art, would you like a 2X or an XL or a?
I thought you would like it.
Very cool.
This is the artwork for a song that we haven't released yet, but we are going to play today for you.
Has it been on the radio yet?
It has not.
So this could be its world
Sort of.
premiere.
I
debut.
love it.
Yeah.
I love the
First time.
message.
I like
You're
that.
loved, you're enough.
You know
Everyone
what?
needs
And
to see that.
we will get to that as soon as our 7:30 phone call from Dave the Rave comes in. We will we'll get to that too. We'll talk about it. So who's the principal songwriter?
So Omar,
they, all, they
yeah.
all took a deep breath.
Oh, like how does-
So lately, it's been Omar writing. Sorry. Writing.
Meet Mike. That's your next brother.
Omar's been writing like the chord progressions, the melodies and stuff, and then he'll give us a quick recording, and then we'll listen to it on our own,
and make it better.
and then pretty much
By a thousand.
Pretty much.
By 1,000 times.
And then we'll write our parts to those recordings. But
Nice.
moving on though, it's gonna be
Our sound is, these days in the writing, it's getting heavier.
Okay.
There's a lot of, like, these guys, their musicianship skill, their skill level is really high. Mine's really low. So the sound is getting heavier. It's
Don't be
getting
so hard on yourself.
No,
man.
it's
Yeah.
just facts. It's just
You're
facts.
loved,
I
you're
know
enough.
You're good. You are good.
So I love lyrics. I love writing. It's something I've always done. So I like wordplay. I like the double entendres. I like storytelling. I've always liked it. So to have somebody write the music and me just having to sit there and work with what I have, it's playtime.
Mhm.
It's go time. It's a double tap.
It's ooh, the
That's
double tap.
the next album. Just saying.
Should be what's on tap.
That's your album.
That was the last 3 days.
Yeah, I can imagine. So once again, the number to call is 609-241-7103. We'll send you a t-shirt.
Mhm. but not mine.
and some Rock on Radio tchotchkes, including the infamous lube.
Ah,
There you
seven
go.
turkey.
That's Dave the Rave, I hope. Hello, Dave the Rave. What's happening, buddy?
Hey, Danny, what's going on?
Say hello to the Phoenix Within. They're from your area. They're up in Queens.
They're up in Queens. Nice to meet you. Nice to say hi. I can't meet you because we're on the phone, but how you doing over there?
All is well.
So when you give us like New York City traffic and weather, they can actually benefit from it.
They need it.
Seriously.
Yes.
They know what's going on. You know, it's business as usual on the New York City roadways in the 5 boroughs. Basically a parking lot. Although I do have some good news. There was an overturned tractor trailer and a car fire in the Lincoln Tunnel. Both, to my knowledge, have been cleared. In case anybody wants to use that tunnel.
That's serious.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're going away, and I'm really glad I got to talk to you because I've got 2 great classic rock shows in the New York City area for you this week. But let me give you the current weather up here in New York right now. Currently it's 41 and cloudy. It's going down to a low tonight at 39. Monday we've got an 80% chance of rain, high of 46 and a low of 43. This week is going to be interesting in New York, but I won't be here. I'll be at a nice sunny beach down in the Caribbean.
Oh, I thought you were going back to Amsterdam.
No. I'm going. How do you say it?
I thought you needed coffee.
I'm going to Curacao.
Oh, Curacao.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Sounds nice to me.
Isn't that crazy?
Go ahead.
Sure, no problem.
You go for it, Dave.
Listen.
Make sure you take producer Jenny.
That's right. She deserves it.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, in this endeavor, she's the boss. So I'm the producer.
Oh,
Nice.
I see. Okay.
Those are everything, right?
Yep.
So listen, Danny.
Go ahead.
Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Valentine's Day. I've got the Eagles at MSG. It's an 8 p.m. show, and you've got plenty of tickets still available.
They're there for 2 nights, aren't they?
I'm gonna. Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're there for 2 nights.
Yes.
Eagles. Yes. Excellent choice.
Yeah, I'm partial to the 70s lineup with Don Felder, but hey, it's still good music, right?
Oh yeah. It's the Eagles.
You know? And,
Yeah, I've
we've got.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just going to say Don Felder. I've actually had the pleasure of interviewing multiple times, and twice I've actually been backstage with him, courtesy of Don Felder. He is one of the nicest gentlemen you will ever meet. There, Dave the Rave. Just letting you know.
Well, you're on the internet, so I can curse. He got screwed. Okay, he got royally screwed.
Yeah, well,
He got really screwed by 2 troll freaks.
Yep. And yeah, it's a shame, but he doesn't talk about it much. But he's still one of the very nicest men in rock and roll. That's for sure. He invited myself and a couple of us up to his dressing room in Atlantic City. He actually bought me a Jack and Coke. There you go. And and then the other time was down in Camden, New Jersey, at the BBT Center. He was on the road with Styx, and he invited a handful of us backstage in Camden, which was really cool. So I'll have pictures of that. I'll have to send them to you. That was a pretty cool day. So
I told you I met the guys in Styx years ago, right?
yep.
I think I told you when I was down at your show.
Yes, you did. Yep.
I delivered biodiesel fuel to their tour bus.
See, Dave the Rave has a
I
rock
know.
and roll connection. Perfect. Hey, who's the second show,
Here's your
Dave?
second show. All right. I'm actually happier with this one, although it's a little bit outside of the metro New York City area. I still consider it the New York City area. We've got Cheap Trick, 8 p.m. show, Saturday the 15th at the Catfolk Theater in Portchester. Now, that's easily accessible from 95 North, 287 East, coming across the Tappan Zee. And, of course, from Manhattan, you can access it from the New Haven line, Metro North.
You guys
And
all right with that?
Cheap Trick, Saturday night the 15th.
Cheap Trick. I saw them down in Camden too. They were on one of those bills with like 3 other classic rock bands.
Well, how long ago was that?
Last summer, maybe,
Oh, okay.
or the year
Okay. Did you
before.
ever get to see the original lineup when Bunny was still in?
No, this was with the different drummer.
How do you feel about that, Danny?
I was never a big Cheap Trick fan. I mean, I like some of their stuff, but I was never like crazy about them. You know, I mean, it was they
Right.
and in the show I saw, everybody was raving about how great they were, and the show I saw, the sound was absolutely horrible. I don't know if it was the sound guy in
Well,
Camden or but whatever. But then I heard the next night they were in, I think like Hershey, Pennsylvania or something, and everybody was raving about it. So who knows? Maybe it was just me.
Could be.
Maybe it was just me, Dave the Rave.
I know. Okay. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to call in and continue to do the Day the Rave's Rock and Roll New York City review. And I'll talk to you next Sunday, and I'll let you know how the beach was.
Will you be? Oh, so you'll be back for next Sunday? Okay. All right.
Nice.
No, we'll be back. I'll be back Saturday. I'll be ready to go.
Okay.
Nice. He'll be tan.
Fantastic.
We're flying home. We're flying home Saturday night, Danny.
Okay.
All right. Enjoy.
All right.
Yes, sir. Well, have a
Thank you very
good
much,
trip.
Claire.
Have a good trip, Dave the Rave, and enjoy yourself. Smoke a couple cigars for me on the beach.
You got it, boss. Hey, do you smoke cigars?
Yes, I do.
Rule number
Okay.
6.
All right. That's a good thing to know. What about your sound guy? Does he smoke cigars?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't.
Claire, you don't smoke
No.
cigars.
Thank you anyway.
Okay.
We that's
all right.
Claire's part-time
All right,
job,
boys, well,
Dave.
let me see what I can find down there.
That's Claire's part-time job. She rolls the cigars for us.
Yeah, no.
Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if I get my hands on some Cubans?
Yes.
That would be awesome.
So, wait. You're talking about cigars, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Hey, Danny,
Yes, sir.
always a pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, sir.
There you go, Dave the Rave. Thank you. Have a good trip.
Rock on.
Dave the Rave. Dave the Rave, Rock and Roll Review, New York City, traffic and weather. And with us tonight in studio, we have the Phoenix within, who can actually use the New York City traffic and weather.
Exactly. Don't go the tunnel.
Him,
Well,
that's
it's clear
actually
now.
2 guests.
You think so?
The tunnels are clear. The Washington Bridge, not so much.
GWD.
All right. Well, why don't we do some music? We'll do some music. What do you think? What's choice? We won't. Maybe we won't. It's just my mom again. I'm telling you. Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Who's this?
Terry Johnson.
Nice.
Terry or Harry?
Terry Johnson, the Flamingo.
There we go. Oh, Terry, how are you, buddy? How are you?
Right, good.
Fantastic. How's things? It was such a pleasure to talk to you the other day, sir.
Yeah.
This is on the phone with us right now. We have Terry Johnson, who was the singer in a band called the Flamingos, who's the tune that we're actually going to talk about this very quickly in a second. The tune that their big hit or they're best known for has been in more movies and television shows and gosh knows what. It's a song called I Only Have Eyes for You.
Yeah.
And you're re-releasing it, right, Terry?
Yep, in a little different, up to date style for newer listeners and for the older listeners also.
That's right. That's and tell us how it came about, because that was a pretty cool. That was a pretty cool story that you told me.
Well, I went to Nashville to record an original song on Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, and she's now spent a lot of time with her kids, and so we recorded the track. And while we were waiting for some kind of feedback from her, the executive producer Paul Posofsky said, "Terry, while you're here, I want to record I Only Have Eyes for You." So he had his producer Jimmy Nichols to record the track. And I fell in love with the track. The track had such a haunting type feel to it. It's like, but up to date, today's sound. And I said, I like that. So he said, well, why don't you go in the studio and lay down a feeling for it so I can get one of my other artists to feel what you feel and record it on them. And I went in the vocal booth and I was just playing around with it. And the musicians and the producer and the executive producer, they all said, oh my God, this is it, this is it. They said, no, you captured it. So they said they wanted to record the song on me. And I was flabbergasted. I had no idea that I was going to do anything like this again. But they gave me the track. I took it home in my own studio and laid down the vocals. My wife, Teresa, and we produced together, and she gave me great ideas, and I laid it down. And I gave it back to the producers, and they freaked out. They said, this is it. Mm-hmm. So we've been putting a lot of work behind it, getting a lot of radio play. We're having a video made on the 17th of this month for the song "I Don't Have Eyes for You," and it's got a new sound. It's fresh. It's a sexy. Everybody keeps saying it's sexy. The way you deliver it is very sexy. So I'm honored about that. I was just singing it, but they're putting a lot of money behind it to make sure that it's going to be heard by the public. So that's about where it came from and where it's going.
Is Teresa there now?
Yeah. You want to speak to her?
Sure. Say hello to her. I didn't know she was there the other day. Hello, Teresa.
Hello. How are you?
We are fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
You keeping Terry in line?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been singing. Singing and writing.
I'm telling you. But now, I know I asked him this question the other day, so I'm going to ask you the same question. What's it like? You were the producer. What is that? What was that like producing this particular song with him?
Oh, it was just like you said. It was heaven sent. It just dropped out of heaven into our laps. The track was so phenomenal. The way we describe it is that the original has something that pulls you in and just kind of mesmerizes you. And this one does the same thing. Everybody that hears it says, wow, this just pulls me in. Cousin Brucey said he was smitten by it. So it's just a great thing. And Terry just put such a great feel on it. So we had a lot of fun producing the vocal with that phenomenal track. It just came together like pieces of a puzzle.
I think Cousin Brucey was around when the original came out on there too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. For him to fall in love with it the way he did, what he said, he was smitten by it and he was drawn in, is a high compliment because someone like him, he's going to hold it, he's going to measure it against the original, and we never try to do that. You can't outmatch the original. But this has something special about it. It just, like I said, it pulls you in.
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, you have Terry has a show coming up at the Count Basie Theater in March, I believe, correct?
Yes, March 7th. And we'll
March.
be at the Terrytown Theater on March 6th.
Oh, okay. All right, Terrytown, New York, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well,
all future dates, people can find them on hotfunrecords.com.
That was going to be
Terry wherever he's at.
That was going to be my next question. How can we find Terry? How can we find the song? Has the song been released yet? It's going to be released on Valentine's Day, correct?
No, it's out.
Oh, it is out. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, good.
January 21st, and you can find it on all the major social media platforms: Spotify, Amazon. Where's the rest of the list? Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Tidal, Napster, and then people can go on to hotfunrecords.com and find those links as well.
And also TerryIsaiahJohnson.com.
Right.
TerryIsaiahJohnson.com. All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you for taking time to hang out with us. Say hi to my in-studio guests, the Phoenix Within.
Hey.
Lou. What's going on?
Very nice to meet you.
Hey. What's up?
Hey,
what up?
Hey, Terry, these guys are original artists. You have any advice for these young gentlemen who are just trying to make their way in the music business?
Yes, I do. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Be different, be different, be different.
You know, he says be different. And that's funny. Before I let you go, Terry, tell the story about when you first brought I Only Have Eyes for You to the rest of the Flamingos and what happened.
I'll make it short and sweet. I had a dream. In other words, I had 33 songs to do. I did 32, knocked out, but the last song just didn't feel right. I didn't like the way it sounded. And matter of fact, they're old standards. So I was playing around with it. I fell asleep and I heard it in a dream. And when I woke up, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was able to play what I dreamed. And I called the rest of the Flamingos to my room. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning. They was pissed off when they heard it. They said, ugh. They said, damn, that sucks. I mean, but when I showed them the parts and they started doing chop and put that harmony together, they looked at me like, hey man, I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. Because it didn't sound like anything we'd ever recorded before. And then I said, well, we're going to go in the studio tomorrow and do it. So we did it. And George Golden, the president of N Records, when he came back into town from promoting, he said, Terry Johnson, come into my office. I said, hey, George. He said, George Golden is his name. He said, what the hell is this? I listened to it. He said, it's garbage. I said, garbage? I felt it was a dream. I said, God gave it to me. I know God gave it to me. He said, Terry, no. Don't you ever go in that studio without me again, without my approval. And he said, you know, like he said, I don't like it. He said, I think it doesn't sound like 50s music at all. And just I'll put on the album, you know, our first album, which is Flamingo Serenade, and he said, just leave me alone for a minute. So my feelings was really hurt. And the album came out, and Goodnight Sweetheart was supposed to be the A side that they had chosen from the studio. From the record company rather, and when the DJs heard it, they didn't play that. They played I Only Have Eyes for You, and it became our biggest selling hit ever. And then I remember George Golden called me about 3.5 or 4 weeks later. He said, Terry Johnson, come to my office. I said, hey George. I said, hey George, what's up now? He said, well, I just want to let you know, whenever you want to go in the studio with or without me, just whatever you want to do, you got my blessing. So that's the deal with that.
True rock and roll stories. There you go. You heard it right here. Well, Terry, we're going to play the new version right now of that great classic, I Only Have Eyes for You, here on Rock On Radio. Thank you so much for taking the time to call us. And thank Teresa for hanging in there with us as well. You guys are great, and I hope to see you next month.
Okay.
All right. Rock on, my friends. There you go. Terry Isaiah Johnson. I like getting surprise phone calls like
That's cool. Thank you for the advice.
See, it's funny. I mean, now look at that. Here's the guy, one of the great, and you're going to hear the new version, but one of the greatest songs that's been played at more wedding receptions and
so you know, the new version is 28 seconds long. It's just a snippet.
Oh, it's just a snippet?
I have he did include in this file as an original.
Yeah.
Let's play the original. Yeah. That's only like 2 minutes and 28 seconds. It's 4 minutes. Is it? You're wrong. All right, then forget that. We kept these. Just play the snippet. Let's hear what the snippet sounds like.
Loaded.
We'll play the unless you go to Hot Fun Records, and we can go to Hot Fun Records. Maybe the full length is there. That's what she's saying.
It's out on the. It is out.
She's there. All right. So anyway, while Art's doing that, you know what? We'll play that once while he's downloading all that. Why don't you guys? Let's get you our guest tonight, our Phoenix Within. Let's play some tunes from you.
All right.
Or tune.
We're gonna do awareness. I've been where you are. I felt that heaviness, the loneliness, the weakness and the emptiness. I think I was saved from my darkest dark and my lowest low, to tell you that you're not alone. You are not alone. You are loved, you are loved, and you are enough. There's no need to hide. You are loved, and you are enough. This secret pain, it wears you down. This sickness shatters bones, homes, and chromosomes. Your mom don't care, or your dad ignores. I'm here to tell you that you are not alone. You are not alone. You are loved, and you are enough. There's no need to hide. You are loved, and you are enough. Woo!
Nice. I like that. You know what I like? I like about that is that whenever John hit that little guitar note, he's smiling now. He just would smile.
I love that.
You seem to smile a lot. I like that. That's good. There should be more smiling in rock and roll.
That's right.
That's right. Less scowling. No.
That's
She's
great.
like-
I love that. That was great. Good message.
Fantastic. That wasn't the world premiere, was it?
That was
That was
it.
that
And
was the
and
tune.
that shirt's the first time
Yeah,
people will
it's
see
posted.
artwork for it.
Yeah.
You posted it. Where can they find it?
I posted on our event page on Facebook so they can see the pictures that I posted.
So that's right. You have to go to Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2, the number 2 on Facebook, and you can see the pictures and the links and all that fun stuff. Did you? Are you all right over there, Art? Did we get that? No.
It's on Spotify.
Okay. Well, let me know when you have it. We'll play it. We'll talk with the.
We're about to do the snippets.
It's on Spotify.
It's on Spotify.
I got other things. Like our guests.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. So take us through. And this is a question I haven't asked in a while. Take us through a typical practice. Well, first of all, where do you rehearse? If you're going to follow Terry's advice, where are you going? Where do you rehearse?
At our place.
In our
Okay.
garage. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, our father and us would turn into a studio.
Oh,
We try to
nice.
soundproof it
Somewhat. Try
Yeah.
to, soundproof it as much as
as
possible,
possible.
as with as much knowledge as we had when we built it.
When I was a kid, I had 2 friends. One of them actually married a cousin, and the other, he had an older brother. He was a guitar player, and he had an older brother who was a drummer. And they had a garage that their father allowed them to turn into a studio, a rehearsal space of sorts. So they literally put drywall on the walls and laid carpet down. It took the door, and they put a door in the door.
Right, yeah,
You
double-
know,
yeah.
so you could see get in and out. And one night, I'll never forget this. Their parents, they were away on vacation or something. So these two decide at like 3:00 in the morning on a Tuesday that they're going to start jamming in the garage. It was not a good move because it was not soundproofed.
Right.
The neighbors the next day were like, "What were you guys doing?" So soundproofing, I guess, is all a relative term.
Yeah, it only does so much work.
It's
It
based
does
on
help.
perspective.
It was better than when we were playing in the basement. Like the
Yeah.
sound would just carry out. It was crazy loud. So the garage definitely does help. And That reminds me, Memorial Day one year, we opened the garage door and we had like a block party, and we played. We used to have our old singer, we had our original band. And,
Define old.
So our original band.
Oh, there you
go. That was like, maybe over like 5 years ago now. More, maybe more.
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And we played, we opened the garage door, the entire block loved it. They all came out with their beers, food. People were like enjoying listening to the music. And then there was just one neighbor that was very upset and never called the cops, but made us think about it. But it was still fun.
Yikes.
Yeah.
There's always one.
There's always one.
There's always one. Which goes to prove that you really can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
That's true.
So.
Did you frame him?
No. No.
Like, did you leave anything illegal or illicit in their property?
No.
And then call the cops?
No.
Well, I would have.
Not as far as you know.
Security.
Allegedly.
Okay. Well. Yeah, that's now. Are you okay? So you guys are from Queens,
Yeah.
right? Are you also from Queens?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you're all
I'm
from.
parts.
Yeah, we're from Bayside and he's South Ozone.
Oh, okay.
Woodhaven.
Bayside Queens. Ain't there a song, a popular rock and roll song?
Yeah, there's actually
Go ahead.
Bayside Queens. I think there's a band called Bayside
From
from Queens. Well, I don't know if they were.
Oh no,
I'm not
it's
actually
from a
sure.
different Bayside, but I know they're.
But
there's
they
a band called
rock.
Bayside.
And so what's the rock and roll scene like up in Queens? Now, where do you guys perform most? Do you perform in the local, spots in Queens, or do you
feel like-
travel more into
I feel like
Manhattan?
we've traveled
play more in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, Jersey,
What are you hitting in Jersey?
Dingbats.
Dingbats.
Oh,
we played.
Dingbats up at Clifton? Or
Yes,
yeah.
Clifton.
Okay. All right.
But like I said, like we'll go anywhere. We were in Texas just last month.
Yeah, that was fun.
Did you guys play South by Southwest?
No.
Not yet.
We're going to. It's March 19th. Yeah, so
Oh, now
we
how
go-
did you get
yeah.
that gig? Because that is not easy to do.
Omar, thank you, Omar. No more questions.
So there was this guy, right?
I know a
And
guy.
I made a call. And then another call.
And I took this bag for him.
And then I left the bag there and I called the cops, and now I have his slide.
Nice.
I'm relentless. I just like I tracked you down.
Mhm.
I tracked you down. I'm constantly online. I'm constantly researching. I'm constantly emailing people. I just want to know, and I just want to. When I want to know something, I'll get to the bottom of it. I'll Google. I'll find people who know that person. I'll do anything.
It's called being a stalker.
Yes, I do all that.
It's a word for that.
No, you didn't have to try very hard for me. He's like,
You were easy.
I would like to.
Hey, Danny, you were easy.
I've been told that. I've been. He's like, hey, I got this band from Queens. Can we come on your show? Essentially, that's what the. Yeah, sure. When you want.
But
See, I have high standards.
and that's what happens though. Like people, they reply, and then it's the worst thing that can happen is that they say no.
Exactly.
And I think that's very important to know in this music business, in this music industry. The worst thing that can happen is that you get a no or they turn you down. And even then, you can still keep going.
What did Wayne Gretzky? And I believe he said it when he was with the Rangers. He said, you will not score on 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yes.
Or something to that.
Something
Might
like
be
that.
paraphrasing. But what's it? I always look at it this way. For years, I was always afraid to ask. Because I was always thinking I was going to bother somebody. Then I realized once I started this show, what's the worst you can do is say no.
That's the
Yeah.
worst.
You
That
know?
is literally
That's it.
the worst. And I'm not saying that's not hard either. There's been times, and I turn around and I tell the guys too. I've just when we first started playing together, we wanted to do a lot of festivals and get out there, and I'd be emailing, blasting people every day, every week. I'm talking about like sending out anywhere along 40 to 50 emails a day, just reaching out, and when they did start replying back, it was a lot of no's. No, sorry, no, not into this, not into that, and it happens, and it's just you can go down the spiral and just be disillusioned, sad, and depressed, or you can keep going.
Or
Somebody's going
right.
to give you a yes.
that always reminds me of that story about Colonel Sanders, where he went to like 999 or 99 stores to try to sell his chicken recipe, and he was turned down every time. And then it took
That's crazy.
one that had the faith in him, to do it. There's an artist who's been in here. We're going to get to the Deuce Music Minute. You got that queued up? Okay. To the Deuce Music Minute in a second. But there was an artist who's been in here a couple of times. And he's been around for a while. So before the advent of the internet, he used to take a pad and paper and he would watch television shows. And at the end, when the credits were going through at 90 miles an hour, he would try to catch the music director and write down their name, and he would send a letter. Now it's an email, but he would send a letter. And he had nothing. And then all it took was one. And he finally got one of his songs on, I think MTV used to have a show years ago, High School Reunion or something it was called. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, and he got one in there. Now they all talk to each other. From there, he got stuff on The Deadliest Catch. From there, he got a tune on The OC. From there, he got a tune, So it kind of, but it just takes one to get your foot in the door. And, whether or not you throw that door wide open is strictly up to you. So, and that brings us to the Deuce Music Minute, which we're going to do and then come back with our guests, the Phoenix Within. If you want to give these guys a call, please do so tonight, 609-241-7103. And give us a call. If you're listening on the podcast, you can email me that you heard these guys, and I'll send you something. I don't know what. I'll send you something, though. But right now, the Deuce Music Minute is brought to us, of course, by Deuce Music. DeuceMusic.com. Our good friend Rob over in the UK. And this week, he sent me a contemporary R&B band called Little Grace. Little Grace. They are based in Liverpool, England. I know another band that came from Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't remember them.
Yeah, me either. You're too young.
I am
understand. Yeah,
way too young.
Yeah. These guys got together in their late teens and they were doing a lot of cover material, and they became reduced to a trio, I guess, through whatever happens, and they began writing their own material and searching for their own sound. The outcome of this is a new single, which is called Silence, and it's available to stream or purchase on various sites. You can find them at littlegrace.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/littlegraceuk. Same thing for Twitter and Instagram, Little Grace UK. And right now we're going to play their song Silence for the Deuce Music Minute here on Rock On Radio.
Silence. Yeah. Right. So I can take my own advice. Oh, the silence. We can turn this around, and you can hold me down. We could go through swings and roundabouts while I'm giving in and tapping out. Or we could free fall, or maybe we could just stay home. I forgot life is comfortable. It feels better to be vulnerable. It's always hold me down. And you don't care. So show me how. Oh, you know me now. Oh, you know. You swear I'm scared of giving up. I'm so heavy, I don't give. So I'ma take my own advice. Hold the silence. So I'ma take my own advice. Hold the silence. by. We don't hide. We speak with our and I'm sometimes take my own advice. We don't hide. We speak with our. We speak with our. Sight. We speak with our sight. We speak with our sight. We speak with our sight. Oh, the silence, no. But I'ma take the silence, no. Oh, the silence, no.
That you don't get where I am, so it's under my decision.
There you go. Little Grace and the Deuce Music Minute here on Rock On Radio. If you're just tuning in, our guests this evening are the Phoenix Within. And let's do some music from you guys. How's that? We've heard music from everybody else. Let's do some from you. And then I think we'll play that snippet when we come back of Terry Johnson. I thought he said Harry Johnson. I was like, what's this, a prank call?
Who is this?
Who is this?
The Sopranos.
I'm looking for Seymour Butts.
Yeah. I need a new face.
All right, so we're gonna play for you one called South Ozone.
Whoa.
Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hand-me-downs and throwaways, dirty kicks and layaway. A single mom struggling to keep her kids from suffering. 100-226 JHS and all the friends who understood you need to look at. Shout it out, public schools on the boulevard gave me spine and confidence to do the things I love to do, regardless of the consequence, because we are all we have. So be the person even when you were young. Dad who drank and barely spoke, beat his wife and robbed his blind, left 2 girls and a boy with such a boy. A contractor, a nail lady, a car wash and a pharmacy all taught me how to work towards what I want. In exchange for cash, public schools on the boulevard gave me spine and confidence to do the things I love to do, regardless of the consequence, because we are all we have. So be the person you needed when you were young. Public schools on the boulevard gave me spine and
confidence to do the things I love to do, regardless of the consequences, because we are all we have. So be the person you needed when you were young, because we are all we have. So be the person you needed when you were young.
The Phoenix Within here on Rock On Radio.
Cool.
Nice stuff, man.
Nice.
So when you guys play out, what do you play? Just like, are you doing showcase things when you go on these little weekend jaunts, or are you part of like, a night with 6 other bands, or are you doing stuff on your own?
We were lucky enough this weekend to be the feature for everything.
Yeah, we headliner. Yeah.
So you got to tell everybody about this. There's a guy named Russell in a place in DC. The place is called the Dive Bar. Phenomenal human
awesome.
being.
Best person.
Phenomenal. There's you, and then there's Russell.
Thank you.
You saw that? You saw that? But it was
take this.
That's my magnet. But it was and then the next day we were at this place called the Living Stage, which was actually a hotel lobby, and it was really cool. We played a set, and then I got off the stage, and then these guys rocked out and just did like some rock tunes, and people just started gathering in the lobby. And next you know, people are dancing, and then we go back and we do another set. And it was amazing. Like it just turned into such a great weekend. And then here we are,
on Rock On Radio.
Feather in your cap.
And it was such a great weekend. Like, I'm gonna be tired as hell tomorrow.
Talking to Dave the Rave,
That's
talking
right.
to Terry Johnson, talking to who else?
You?
Me. 609-241-7103. If anybody wants to talk to these fine gentlemen.
Just let you know, Jody Weber said, good show. They are talented musicians.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Jodester.
Yeah.
Nice.
Somebody's listening.
There you go.
Tell her to tell us what shirt size you getting the hookup.
Jody's getting the hookup.
See that? Fantastic.
Rule number 7.
That's a long
That blackboard. We're gonna rewrite
cover with
this.
boots.
we are aptly enough located in the old kindergarten classroom here. It says so right on the door.
I was so as tall as my
All right, so let's kind of
still the same height.
let's go around the room a little bit. John, guitar. How long? First of all, how long have you been playing the guitar, and who were your main influences?
I was probably playing now 12, so like 14 years now.
Okay.
14 years now I've been playing. And started off with really liking Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page was a big influence with trying to learn his riffs and songs. And then after that, just trying to write my own stuff and listening to various other bands that I enjoy listening to.
Such as?
Was that?
Such as?
You're big on Creed.
Yeah,
Growing
Creed
up, yeah.
fan. I don't know much. A lot of classic rock.
Yeah.
That's where I really took on.
Our
learning.
friends in is the poster still behind me? Weapons of Anew.
Yep.
Back there, they just went on the road with who was the lead singer of
Scott
Creed?
Stapp.
Scott Stapp. Yeah.
He has a new
Nice.
band now.
Yeah.
Yep. They weren't backing him. They were opening for him. They did pretty much the whole tour with Stapp. Because my daughter called me. She's like, "Dad, you know these guys?" I said, "Why?" She goes, "Because we're going to the Starland Ballroom tonight to see
It's a great venue.
Stapp." Because So I was like, "Yeah," but it's too late to hook her up with backstage. So she got to go over to the merch booth and get an autographed poster, which I think is what's behind me, right?
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
as it turned out, I knew their tour manager, their road manager for that tour was a guy that when I was a UPS driver, when I first started, he had opened up a brand new record distribution company on my route. So I got to know him then. And here it is 25 years later. I still, paths cross again. Yeah, how about you, Nick?
So I started playing the bass when I was 7. I'm 21 now. There was definitely a gap though, growing up where I, didn't pick it up as much. I didn't practice as much. But lately, the past, 2-3 years, I've been practicing and, getting everything together. A lot of my influence is, Led Zeppelin growing up, but then I hit like a grunge phase, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, all that stuff. And then I found Tool, listening to Tool a bunch. That's a lot of influence from there. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
See, now I have a Tool story as well.
There you go.
Oh, see?
Mhm.
Danny Carey has a side project called Volto.
Okay, no.
And it's him, a guitarist, and a bass player. They do all instrumental stuff, and they're outrageous. They did a version of Led Zeppelin's No Quarter, all instrumental. That was just like, it blew me away when I saw them. And this was another where I got lucky enough. Their road manager was also the road manager for Tool, had reached out to me about doing an interview with them. And he winds up inviting me backstage. So I got to hang out in the dressing room with Volto and Danny Carey. And first of all, Danny Carey is huge.
Yeah.
Okay. I came up to like his armpit. and James, he's a monster drummer. We know
Yeah,
that.
he's insane.
It's so funny because I'm like, all right, cool. So I go backstage and I'm thinking these guys are great. All right. And we open up the dressing room door and I go walking in. There's a fruit platter and a vegetable platter and nothing but water. I'm like, where's the Jack Daniels? Where's the Coke? Where's the I meant
Wrong
the soda.
Wrong door.
I'm like, who are these? Who are you?
So you were looking for the roadies dressing.
Yes. I'm like, you guys are rock and roll stars, and this is what
Secret stuff.
it was pretty funny.
The wheatgrass.
So I promptly sat down and had some broccoli and water.
Hey, we've all changed our ways as we've gone.
I see, but they were great guys. Actually, they were funny. They gave me a nice long interview, and they were really cool. So that's my
Nice.
Tool. That's my Tool story. Semi-Tool story. How about you, Jane?
I started in elementary school, 4th grade, and actually it was 5th grade, and I was going into the junior high school jazz band. So I said I needed like a drum instructor, and the first thing I did when I walked in is like, I want to play like John Bonham. He said, "Shut up." He goes, "You're not." He goes, "I'm gonna teach you how to play the drums." And I was like, "All right, cool." He goes, "Here's a drum pad and drumsticks. You're not gonna see a drum set for like 6 months."
Correct.
So they're on the guitars playing all the time, and I got the stupid drum pad, and I'm like, they're like, "Oh, it's play something." Like, I can't. I can't play the drums. I have to play this pad. Like, it doesn't make music. So I was on that for like 6 months, and then finally, like after like 6 months of practicing, I finally got on the drum set, and I was still like, I gotta play Led Zeppelin. All right, and he's like, "No." Started teaching me jazz, funk. And then we got into it, and like I started realizing like John Bonham is jazz and funk. So started getting heavily into jazz, and then I went to York College. I was from junior high school to high school, and there was a jazz program there. And I played in a college jazz band, and that took me from here to here. And after that, just kept playing, and I haven't stopped. I actually stopped for like 1 or 2 years. I actually fell out. I did stop like 2 solid years. Yeah. So
That's when he went up to the mountain and meditated.
Yep.
And came down John Bonham.
Yep, that's it.
And he said, "To you, teacher.
Yeah.
I'm done."
No, I have to humble myself, come back to the drum pad. And Omar actually inspired me to start playing again. And, I fell off the wagon for a little bit, and then I was just focused with work. And then I kind of forgot about it. But it's just recently I've been practicing, and so I owe it to Omar. Get me back on the horse.
See, now that's when James is 100% right, correct. When you're a drummer, now This is funny because when I was a kid and I was 11 and a half, started taking lessons. And my teacher gave me a pad, drum pad, and one of those books where you had to write your own music.
Yeah,
you know,
I had that too.
right? So
X's.
I'm sitting there. No, it was R's and L's.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm sitting there and I'm right, left, right. Then you get to the part where you really get paradiddle, you know, and you're doing all these drum things. Right? Well, one time he's like, all right, let me see how your wrist action is, right? So he's sitting there and I'm playing. He goes, just keep going until I tell you to stop. Well, this SOB fell asleep. And I'm not paying attention. I'm sitting there like this. I look over to his here he is in a chair. For those of you watching at home.
You put him to sleep.
I like flipped the stick. And then my cousin gave me Led Zeppelin 4 for my 12th birthday. It was all over. I want to play like that guy.
Yeah.
So that was that. All right, Omar the Magnificent. So
I've been called many things, never that.
well, there you go. There's a first. How about you?
So the first person to show me how to play the guitar was in high school. His name is Gary Soman, and then after that, I got a very few, like actually only 3 lessons from this also a Dan. We call him Dan the Man. He was from the local music store, Alberto's Music Store in Ozone Park, and I got 3 lessons from Dan the Man there. And then after that, I just went to a lot of shows. I constantly went to local shows, and I would be in the front watching people, watching what they're doing, and you just pick it up from there. I've just always liked it. I've always liked music, and I've always written. I just never knew an instrument, so I don't know. I took to the guitar like easily. Like, for me, like I say easily, but I still suck. But but every day is a challenge, you know. Actually, that jazz band that James was talking about, I just joined that at your college. So I work at your college, so you get to take classes for free. So I just joined that jazz group, and I'm hoping I'll elevate and
Get better.
a little too.
You'll get back on the wagon too.
I'm hoping I'll suck less.
I want to suck less.
I want to be suckless.
That's rule 8.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we do some more music?
All right. This
You
next one's
guys.
called Copycat, and it's about originality
Hmm.
and authenticity in your work.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I'm not trying to be anybody else, and I don't mean any disrespect. I got my own thoughts, so I'll paint my own way, and I don't mean any disrespect. There's a million of them, but only one of you. Why can't you do your own thing? There's a million of them, but only one of you. Why can't you do your own thing? There's a million of them, but only one of you. Why can't you do your own thing? Why can't you do your own thing? So he can slur his words away real fast. You wanna do it too. You're just a copy of a copy with a few good hooks. I've got my own thoughts, so I'll paint my own way. And I don't mean any disrespect. There's a million of them, but only one of you. Why can't you do your own thing? There's a million of them, but only one of you. Why can't you do your own thing? There's a million of them, but only one of you. Why can't you do your own thing? Why can't you do your own thing? Off the shoulders of the great, I saw further. Off of their hips and shoulders, I saw further. Off of their hips and shoulders, I saw further. There's a million of them, but only one of you. Why can't you do your own thing? There's a million of them, but only one of you.
Why can't you do your own thing? There's a million of them, but only one you. Why can't you do your own thing? There's a million of them, but only one of you.
Nice.
Woo! You're leaking.
I am. I sprung a leak. It wasn't a Disney movie. Remember Sir Hiss?
Oh yeah.
From,
Sir Hiss. You
from Alice in
deliberately
Wonderland.
dodged.
That's right.
No, it's from Robin Hood.
Wrong. Again.
Robin Hood.
In the back.
It was with Prince John.
Oh, that's
And
right.
Sir
Robin
Hiss.
Hood.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
Sir
Sir
Hiss.
Hiss.
You deliberately dodged.
That's correct. Okay.
Sorry,
It was
one
a
of my
Cheshire
favorite.
Cat that was in Alice in Wonderland.
That's right.
That's
You didn't
Okay. He spoke Tuca.
Thought that was who?
No, that was the caterpillar.
You is the caterpillar. Let's go.
Wrong.
Move on. Don't challenge me on Disney movies. I may not know Led Zeppelin. I know Disney movies.
Yeah, well, I know Walt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I knew him when he was young.
He's still frozen.
Yeah. Cryogenically.
She might not know Fred Zeppelin.
That's true.
Led Zeppelin. Not Fred Zeppelin.
Dazed and confused. So, all right, how do we find you guys? What's your social media and all that fun stuff?
We do have our website. It's the Phoenix Within Rock. We also have a Facebook, the Phoenix Within. We have an Instagram, same handle, the Phoenix Within. We are on Spotify. We are on iTunes. We are on Amazon, Google Play, any and anywhere you can download or stream music, you will find the Phoenix Within. So please stream our stuff. We are going to be dropping a new track soon. This one's going to be called Daddy Issues.
Ooh.
And I really want to share that with everybody. We have a nice new shirt design that's going to come out. So the minute we release that, I will be mailing something to the second floor of this place.
Nice.
I have 3 girls and I have tons of daddy issues.
They have tons of daddy issues.
So is
I'm trying to do my job.
Exactly.
Say therapy.
Nice. It's just lovely.
Should be fun.
Okay, so now I totally lost my
Yep.
train of thought.
Sir Hiss, you were springing a leak. You didn't really have a train of thought. Don't worry.
Oh, speaking of forked tongues,
Okay.
well, a snake is a forked has a
Yes.
forked tongue.
Mhm.
I must give you a Lizzie update.
Oh, you're a lizard.
Yes, my bearded dragon that I
Dehydrated bearded dragon.
rescued.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this is a reptile rescue program, by the way. So donate all your reptiles to Claire. She'll take them.
I don't have a beard. You're the one with the bearded dragon. I rescued a dog. I did.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, she one of her infrared lights blew out, and the tank is
uh-oh.
like hovering dangerously around like 75 degrees, which is
Uh-oh.
about 30 degrees lower than it should be.
Did you buy a new light?
I bought a new light on the way here. Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Oh.
So when I get home, I will
I'm willing to rescue something that doesn't speak.
a cup of coffee.
So a lizard doesn't speak. If it does, let me know.
But it's so funny. I never wanted to own a reptile in my life, and this one kind of fell in my lap. And I was going to give it to my son, but it turns out he didn't want it. The kid had nothing but reptiles growing up, frogs and geckos, and now.
Well, it
you
got
know.
out of his system.
But this lizard loves these things called superworms that are big mealworms. I don't know if any of you guys fish, but you use them for trout fishing sometimes. Mealworms. Thing hits the cage, I drop it in. Within like a second, her head turns. Out goes the tongue, it's gone. Them and blueberries. This lizard loves blueberries. You drop a blueberry in there. I dropped a grape in there. She sucked it up, and I looked at her. Boom, she spit it back, which is pretty funny. I wish I had a video. I wish I had my phone going. But yeah.
Didn't you cut it up for her? What if she chokes?
Really?
Yeah.
What do you want me to feed her from an eyedropper too? or
Yeah.
something?
Hello.
You come over and
So
do that.
are the bearded dragons like them things in Florida that when it got 50 degrees, they were falling out of the trees?
No.
Those iguanas weren't
The
there.
gecko- they were
Oh, geckos, yeah.
No, they were big.
Well, maybe they
Maybe
were.
they were. I think they were iguanas. I think they were.
Probably.
They were dropping out.
You hit 50 degrees, they were like rainy iguanas.
They're all frozen up.
So they're just up for grabs.
Yeah, you can go. That's our next program.
Road trip pass.
It's going to be and we'll go with you. It's a sponsor.
It's the right time of the year.
It'll be called Rock On Rake and Iguana.
Reptile tour.
We'll go there with a steel rake.
So people were bringing them in their house, and then they were warming up and waking up and flipping out.
Oh, yay.
So,
Like fun.
anyway, meanwhile, our guests tonight are the Phoenix Within. If you want to give us a call and talk to these guys, 609-241-7102. We have T-shirts to give away. We have all kinds of things. We'll give you Rock on Radio tchotchkes. I'll stick something in that bag. Maybe, I don't know, a picture of the lizard. I don't know.
Do you have a picture of the lizard?
A signed
several.
picture of the
That's
Rock
right.
On Radio lizard.
That's right. The bearded dragon. She
mascot.
signed it. That's our
Our
mascot.
mascot.
I'll bring it in.
Oh, you know, we got to do something
Who?
with the lizard.
I'll
It's
bring
a
her
her.
in.
It's Lizzie. It's a girl.
I'll bring her in.
Well,
We'll
how
have
we know it.
little
I'm
leash.
flipping her over.
We'll let these guys.
That's what I need. Another.
Did you
female
really
in my
just
life.
go there with my lizard?
What?
We'll flip her over. Wow. Wait, so what's now? Do you have any actual product, or is everything you do streaming?
Everything is digital.
Okay.
Yeah. The 2013 album, I did print some CDs, but I never did. After we sold out on those, we did vinyl. We did a vinyl
you did a
recording
vinyl.
once. Yes,
Cool.
we did, and that sold out. I remember, but we only got like a few copies of that.
13 copies.
But no, I find it like nowadays, that's just the way it's rolling. I mean,
No, it is.
Have you gotten different stories? Like, are people printing again now? Or?
No, well, I know a lot of artists are just bypassing the old compact disc version now. They're doing the digital download cards or the
Yes.
streaming. But there are quite a few also. If I had to put a percentage on it, I'd say maybe 25 or 30%. If I had to
Yeah.
just
Put a number.
guesstimate and
Mhm.
make something up,
Because what I have seen is an
Scientifically.
increase in vinyl.
is
prints.
vinyl.
Vinyl
Yes.
that coming back, and outselling. I think I read an article
Yeah.
or something like that was outselling CD sales.
CDs. It was. Yeah,
for
I
two-
saw that.
So it's just interesting how some of those retro things come back,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you may catch that wind. But for now, and just for the simplicity in it, also nowadays, just being able to send out a song, and people don't really want to download or carry things. Their cars don't even have spots for CDs,
Mhm.
So
Except for 19-year-olds because they own nothing and they have to have something.
That would be the-
digital space. is what
That
we
would
wanna
be
occupy.
the daddy issue. No, but yeah, I mean, vinyl. There's only like 3 or 4, I think, vinyl pressing plants left in the entire country. One of them is right down the road here in Bordentown, Bordentown, New Jersey. It's about 12 miles that way, and yeah, it's they've gotten much busier.
It's big. I mean, my daughter, 16, she got her own record player, and she's dug up all my old vinyls, my parents' vinyls. I mean, she's listening to stuff like never would have interested her in music.
Yeah.
But she's listening because it's vinyl, and she's like playing all
I think
different
there's a
kinds of
cool-
things.
It's a cool.
All your Donny Osmond records?
I never had Donny.
Can't pronounce it.
Woo.
Donny Osmond,
Never.
the Carpenters,
Nope. Anne Murray,
Anne Murray.
John Denver. I was boring. What can I tell you?
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, never. I think the most raucous I had was Meatloaf's "Bat Out of Hell." I did. It was my It was my brother's. I just
How
confiscated it.
scandalous.
I did. I confiscated it.
Claire is also our religious advisor.
Yeah.
Well, we don't talk religion, but in case we do,
It's an
we
easy
have a
job.
religious advisor.
Just in case you have any questions, I don't discuss it. I'm here to validate things.
I give up on me. Let's do some more music. What do you guys want to play for us?
This next one's called Daddy Issues.
Oh, this is a world premiere.
This is it.
I love it. World premiere. That's right. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
this article online said I show all the signs for a classic case of a man with daddy issues. I'm weird, I'm strange. I'm filled with anger and rage, all aimed down the stranger who came to life. I can't commit, I'm phobic. I'm scared others will know this. I've got a classic case of daddy issues. Finding warning signs, sinking relationships. I fear I'll never really know what it is to trust someone other than myself. I know I'm grown, but I've got no family of my own. I feel I don't deserve one. I feel I'm better off alone. My dad, he drank and worse. He caused my mama so much hurt. My mama told me so. My mama, she's got scars to show. And I can't deny resemblance. It's goddamn easy to hate. It sticks out things in next, yeah. It makes me feel so sick, yeah. All finding warning signs, sinking relationships. I fear I'll never really know what it is to trust someone other than myself. All finding warning signs, sinking relationships. All finding warning signs, sinking relationships.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Brand new song from the Phoenix Within, live with us here in studio tonight. That's fantastic. I love it. Love it.
That's good.
So, with no plans to put out any kind of product, how are you going to market the music?
It's a series of things, I guess. I'll be doing a lot more podcasts. I'll be calling you for another sit down.
All right.
Reach out to bloggers, reach out to friends in the publishing business, or who are out there running blogs and running posts, and who have access to their own audience. And I hope to siphon and
Well, I know that, unfortunately, you have to get your music into the hands of a media outlet.
Yes.
So in order to be played, they actually have to have something to play. It doesn't have to be a CD, so to speak, but download cards you can mail to.
Yeah.
Because
we carry download cards.
all right. So one of the things that I know as a radio guy, I've literally got maybe 4 huge Rubbermaid totes at home full of CDs. I got last week alone, I got 5 in the mail. All right. They, 2 of them were for this program. 3 of them were for my blues show. I got blues artists sending me music, which is cool because I get to hear music from all over the place, and it's great. But I know as a program director, and I've been told this by program directors, and since I kind of am the director of this program, when I get a CD in the mail and it's shrink wrapped, drives me insane. Because sometimes you can't get the shrink wrap
Yeah, I have no names.
off. And you're sitting down. You want to
That's
put it
another
into your
song. That's anger.
I was gonna say
That's anger.
frustration.
No, it's serious. Then it's a mess. So, and I know for a fact that there are program directors, if they can't get the shrink wrap off, in the garbage it goes. They don't even care. Hey, you know what? I ain't got time to deal with this. They want to just be able to plug in and play, so to speak.
I think that's the beauty of the digital world too.
Very true.
Nobody even saves on their own devices. They have cloud space.
Yep, that's true. It's true.
You have Spotify, you have iTunes. These outlets that just store millions and millions and millions.
That's everything I used to carry on my phone is on like Amazon Music or iTunes.
Yeah.
That I can listen to for whatever my subscription is.
Rock on Radio.
Yeah.
You can listen to Rock on Radio for free on Spotify.
Yeah.
And on anchor.fm and right here on City of Angel. Art, how many times a week do you replay this program?
3 or 4.
Oh, there you go. See?
Actually, you hear a lot of rock on radio because it just kind of every show we've done just kind of loops through the system. You know what I mean? Didn't all play at one time, but you get your fair share.
So see, you've got and we did our first show here October of 2017. So you've got 2.5 years of Rock on Radio.
Awesomeness.
Actually, I think I aired the year before that when you were still up there.
That's right. When I was in Lambertville. So since 2016, there are plenty of things here. So all right. So now you said you have a full-time job.
I do.
And you have a full-time job, James, right? How about you guys?
I'm in paramedic school right now, which is
okay.
Like
all right.
Yeah, right. School.
And you have a full-time job?
I do not have
He works.
A man after my own heart.
Now let me say something here. Okay. That's good. Because then it doesn't distract from this. You know what I'm saying? Now, come on. Tell me the truth. Wouldn't you rather be home playing music all day?
Just rocking that all day. Absolutely.
Right? I mean, think about it. You really would. I remember I was just having this conversation yesterday at the Hayride in the afternoon. And the actor, Ed Harris, his brother, Bob, was there.
Oh, was that who that was? Oh, I saw him.
And Becky, the girl who was shooting the film, that's Ed Harris's niece.
Oh, that was his.
The actor Ed Harris. That's it, because they're from Jersey.
Right.
So Ed Harris was not there.
No, but the guy playing, I didn't realize he looked familiar, but
no,
not the big guy.
No.
Oh, that was
Bob
different.
was the one sitting taking pictures.
Oh, I got there later.
All right. Anyway, so anyway, I was having this discussion. I believe it was with him when I was 18. And no, it wasn't. It was Bill, the guitar player. You're right. And when I was 18, I there was one college I wanted to go to, and I 3 times didn't even get a response. They didn't even tell me I wasn't good enough. So
You are good enough.
my mom says to me, she's like, "Well, you're not going to school. You need to get a full-time job." And I remember looking at her, and I'm like, "I got a full-time job." She says, "You do?" I said, "Well, it's more part-time, but I got a job." And she said, "Well, yeah, what's that?" I said, I'm a musician. I got a band." And she laughed. She said, "You need a real job. You can use that as a secondary thing." And the problem with having a plan B is that plan A always ultimately suffers.
You have to have a balance. You have to have a balance.
Well, unfortunately, you like to eat, but if you really want to make it in your music or anything in any kind of creative field, there can be nothing else. There can be no balance.
Yeah.
You have to go hungry to get to the point where you're like, "I can't do this. I'm going hungry. I got to make this happen. I got to make this happen."
So like in 2013, that's basically what I was doing.
There you go.
Put myself somewhere, and I said, "I'm going to do this. This is my project." But at the same time, I was in school, and I still finished my degree while recording the full-length album. So I agree partially with you. So I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. And here's the team. I got Mr. Energy Pants over here, right? Nick is the kind of guy who's always going to say he's going to do something, and he does it. You need to have somebody like that in your team. He follows through with everybody. That's the guy. John's always writing.
Yeah, because he's not working.
But the beauty of that is,
That's all.
and that's the beauty though, because he's always writing, I'm able to focus my skill set on other things like reaching out to Danny Coleman, like reaching out to blogs, reaching out to festivals and doing all this stuff. The work is still not being compromised. He's actually still writing. Anything like tech related, gear wise, like my sound, what I do on stage, that's this guy right here. He handles all that. He's like, you need a little more of this, And then Nick is just always just making sure, hey, did you follow up on that email for those tracks? Hey, don't forget we have practice. This guy's got a pretty hectic schedule, So you have to find a balance, you got to know your weaknesses, you got to know your strengths, and then take it from there. Because the music industry is a business.
Well, it's exactly, you're exactly right. It's
So
a business.
you treat it like a business.
And you can't stop.
You can't
When you're
stop.
taking home
You're
30
always
grand a week,
working.
mama will approve.
Yes, you're always working.
But what had happened to me was I accommodated my mother's wishes and I got a full-time job and I played on the weekends. You're not going to become rich playing in a cover band. You're going to make money. You're going to make a lot of money at times, but you're not going to do what you love doing for a living. Unless you get real lucky, like Art was with the Grease Band, and a band that can pull down 20 or 30 grand in a week, playing
In
festivals,
1980.
playing festivals,
and
big rooms where they're putting 500, 600, 700 people in, 1,000 people in. Now don't worry, people at home listening and their parents. I'm not telling your children to quit their day job. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do something, you need to focus on that and do it.
Yes,
Don't
do it halfway.
Correct.
You could
do it full way.
And even when you're working, you can still. I have a full-time job. I work full-time and I still do music full-time. Last year, I was able to become a member of the Recording Academy. Pump these guys to get become part of a pro affiliation so they can get ASCAP and they can get paid for that. There's tiny little buckets where you can collect that revenue. There's digital streams, and even digital streams, you have other things to worry about. You have Song Trust, you have CD Baby, then you have the affiliates that collect through outside US royalties. There's so many ways for you, little ways to make money, and of course the rest will be after,
Right.
the work you put in.
Well, exactly. And
So don't be discouraged. Just work. Just work. You can't be
Rehearse,
lazy.
rehearse, rehearse.
Yeah. Rehearse.
you heard
work.
Terry.
That's
That's right.
Work.
So do you have that snippet queued up? Why don't we play that right now, and then we'll hear one more tune from these guys, and we get to start wrapping things up. Now, this is the updated version of "I Only Have Eyes for You." Unfortunately, it's only a little 25 or 30-second snippet, but this is Terry Isaiah Johnson, the lead singer of the Flamingos, and this was produced by his wife, who apparently was a performer as well, Teresa. You ready, Art? All right, here it is on Rock On Radio.
Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. I only have eyes for you, only you. The moon, baby.
Updated. I only have eyes for you.
It's jazzy.
Yeah, a little bit, little jazzy. Kind of missed that in the background. Chew up.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, you can.
I've heard my share.
I want to thank Terry once again for calling in tonight, and for John Namath for spending some time with us. And I want to thank you guys for being gracious enough to allow them to participate in our program.
Thank you for having us.
Not like you really
Thank
have
you.
much of a choice. I just thought I'd say that.
Thank you for
Nice.
having us. Thank
That's
you
my
for
disclaimer.
giving the advice. That was great.
All right, why don't we do? Let's do another tune. What do you want to do?
Well, we're gonna do one called Tenfold.
Ooh. Tent or 10?
10.
Okay.
Solid question.
That's a camping song.
Guys ready? 1, 2, ready, play.
headed for, and with it, I'll crush you. I could be the bigger person, simply rephrase them, but I think I'd rather use them to hang you. This here's a constant cycle. This here's a constant struggle. 'Cause I feel that you hate me, so I hate you too. There's more where all that came from. No limit to our sick minds. Until you get me now. I'm gonna make you the subject and bind you and then fill up a tub and drown you. This here's a constant cycle. This here's a constant struggle. 'Cause I feel that you hate me, so I hate you tenfold. Darkness can drive out darkness. I don't like it. Hatred can drive out hatred. Only love can do that. Darkness can drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred can drive out hatred. Only love can do that.
Love it. I like it.
Ooh, I love it.
I
Yeah.
like it. Have you guys do any harmonizing at all or backing?
No, we can't sing.
I did
That's
hear
right.
one of you sing something.
You did.
Okay.
I sometimes, yeah.
He just
Okay.
yells.
I was gonna say-
Let's make noises.
So you made that statement. Yes, you did. Well, Claire, you got to her last night, and she's listening.
Who?
Tracy's listening. She sent me a
Oh,
message.
nice.
Says a very sharp knife is helpful for shrink wrap CDs. Yeah, but when you're lazy,
Well, there is that.
Exacto knives.
that's right.
Yeah, well, that's a very sharp knife.
What I do is I go to the post office, which I will do on. the
And you
way
don't want to
home
carry a
from this
knife
event.
into the post office.
No, which closed. Don't matter. I go to the post
I don't
office.
know. I'm walking around town.
Bring your gun.
I go to I go to my PO box, and there's usually multiple CDs stuck in there where I get that yellow card that says you got to come back and pick something up. It's too large, or they leave me a key because they have bigger boxes. And you go over there, right? And you go home with your mail under your arm. You sit down on the couch, throw the computer on your lap, with an Irish whiskey. And you're going to listen to all the new CDs that you just got, and you're going to review them and say, okay, what's this?
You don't
what's
have room
that?
for a knife.
And then you open it up, and it's like, oh man, now I got to go back upstairs and get a knife. And oh my god,
So difficult.
it is.
How about when you know you have CDs, why don't you bring the knife with you first?
Along with your whiskey
Whiskey, yeah.
or scotch.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even smell scotch. I can't. I had a bad experience when I was 9.
Daddy issues.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
When I was 9, my father worked for a liquor distributor. I used to during high school I would go out on the truck as a helper, and my dad. So we always had booze in the house,
Nice.
and I always knew not to touch it, and so I can't remember why, because my parents never had like cocktail parties. My dad loved picnics. Every weekend he'd be out in the backyard drinking beer and grilling something. He was happy about that. But they never had cocktail parties. But for some reason, they had friends over for cocktails. Right? So my dad's in the kitchen. I'm like, Dad, what is that? Can we have some of that? No, no. You're too young for this. No, you don't want this. You don't want this. So I kept nagging him. So I guess as the alcohol kicked in, I was like, Dad, come on, Dad, let me try some. So back in the day, they used to have Dixie cups, used to have a dispenser that you could hang on the wall and you pull a paper cup out. So my dad pulls one out, gives me some scotch.
Allegedly.
Oh, it was scotch. So I was like, all right, good. So I'm thinking, well, it's a drink, right? So I go, and he's like, and I could still hear his words, don't. And I drank it like it was soda or, he said I turned multiple colors and breathed fire. To this day, I can't even smell scotch.
Well, that cured you.
Oh, yeah. So I abandoned that for Jack Daniels.
Good thing they didn't do that with Jameson.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
right.
Give me Jameson. I haven't heard from her in a while. Helen
Ah,
O'Shea.
Helen O'Shea.
I'm
Yes.
telling you. I said that to Gary U.S. Bonds about Southside Johnny. He said, why don't you do it like Southside Johnny? When we were going over the whole Sam Cooke tribute that I played in the house band for, and we were going over that. And Gary U.S. Bonds was a headliner, right? So he was like, I'm going to do, we're having a party and change is going to come. And he says, I'm just not sure how I want to do we're having a party. So why don't you do it like Southside? Get the crowd going. We'll end the night with it. And he looks at me and he says, so what? He goes, don't say his name. He might show up. And I started over that. Now he loves Southside Johnny. Them guys they're joined him and Bruce and Stevie Van. They're all pretty tight, but that was so funny. And then he says, I'll figure it out. At the end of the night, he turns around and he looks at me and he winks. And he starts it a cappella, just like Southside, which was kind of funny. But that he also, it's another funny story for another time. But we're running out of time now.
Cliffhanger.
I've got 1 million of them.
I'm sure.
That's why I started a radio show.
I see.
So I could bore all of you with my stories.
This is true.
This is true. See? You produce it.
I do. I can't stop it.
All right. So now that this little mini Weekend Warrior tour is over, what's next?
We are going to be at making our plans for South by Southwest on March 19th. We're going to be out there with Dead Girls Academy and Cora Rozic, some really cool rock acts out there.
Where are you playing? Do you know what stage?
Austin,
We are going to be, yes, I do. The Dirty Dog Bar.
in
Dirty
Austin.
Dog.
In Austin, Texas, yeah.
I can say I've never been there.
I have.
We've been there. And then March 21st, we will be back in New York playing at the Delancey. So we're hoping,
Where's the Delancey located?
in Delancey, New York City. Manhattan.
Delancey Street.
Delancey
It really
Street,
is.
right?
It really is.
Okay, yeah. And I'll be at the Bleecker. Oh gosh. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for making the trip and for hanging
you.
out with us and playing some great tunes. And we wish you the very best of luck here on Rock on Radio. And thank you for your patience with the calls and the interview and so on and so forth. And
Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Appreciate it.
what did we learn tonight?
Rehearse.
Be different.
Be different. Work.
There you go.
Double tap.
Next week, we have a blues band coming in, the Power Tones. They just released some new
Nice.
music, so they'll be coming into. I booked them before I even got the blues show.
Excellent.
Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, fellas, thank you again.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
till next week. Rock on!
Thank you.